All right, so it's recording. So final thing I'm going to do is I have that midground tile map. Boop, that's fine. I have the background tile map. Boop, that's fine. Where's my flower at? Here's my flower. Set it to midground. Set it to 1, and I can put my flower there. So there's a couple of last things I'm going to show you. So prefabs. It seemed like not everyone understood what a prefab is. A prefab is basically something where I can. It's like a copy. It's like an original copy. So I can make copies of the prefab, and if I change any of the copies, I can make those changes happen to all the prefabs. Okay, so it's really handy. So if I have that flower and I make loads of little flowers, if I change something, normally I would have to go individually to each flower and change all of them. However, if I prefabbed it and then make copies of the prefab, any changes I make, I can say apply to all the other prefabs. And it's just really quick. Okay, so let me just show you. To make a prefab, super simple. Just grab whatever you want to prefab, drag it into anywhere in the assets folder. You probably want to make a folder called prefabs. So I can do like create folder, call it prefabs, and all my prefabs live in there. So flower 1, you go there. Cool. So that's the prefab. You see where it's gone blue? It's gone blue because it's now a prefab. Okay, notes? So let me make a copy of it just to show you. So I'm making copy, 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 and they'll all do the same thing. So they press play, they should all animate. They'll do the same thing. Cool. And then what I can do is, let's say I want to change one of them, right? Let me change the color. Just tint it. So that one, see the way it's tinted to red? Can you see it? Right? Okay, so I'm done. And I can just change that single one if I want to. Fine. But let's say I'm like, oh, it actually looks really good. I want all the flowers that were prefabs to go red. I will go to open and change it to red and go back. They're all red now. Okay? So, because they're all prefabs. Coolio? So you can edit individual ones, or you can open the prefab and this will affect all of them. Let me go back. They all back. And see that one that I edited individually? That one stays the same because it was I edited that individually. I didn't edit the actual prefab. Okay, so it's super handy. Whenever you're building stuff, as much as possible, build them as prefabs. Anything that has code or kind of like components and stuff on it should be prefabs, because if you change one, you have the option of changing all of them if you want to. Okay, so if you forget something, you're like, oh crap, this one needs to have a blah blah blah. Open it, change it, apply to all of them. So let me just change. Yeah, this can be the weird red flower. Right, so that was prefabs. And then the other thing I wanted to show you was, let me just grab a little ball sprite if I can find one. Ball, PNG. Is that transparent? No, that's not transparent. Oh, it is transparent. Save image as. Let me just use that one. And let's go to desktop. And I will import this literally just because I want like a round PNG. So import new asset. Find that asset. I forgot what I saved it as. Oh, there we go. Please be an actual PNG. Oh, you liar. Wait, a UPNG? Apply. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So it is an actual transparent thing. If I bring it in, does it work? Yes. Oh, sorting layer, midground, and oh geez. That's fine. I'll make it smaller. Okay, cool. So have you all done rigid bodies and colliders and stuff? Alright, cool, cool, cool. So if I want this to fall, what do I need to give it? Rigid body and a collider. So let me add a rigid body 2D because I'm in 2D. So that's a difference. Rigid body 2D. And I need to add a collider. So I can either add a circle collider. I can also add a thing called polygon collider. Polygon collider is good for weird shapes. It will try to follow the shape and make a collider around the shape. But because it's a circle, it will probably just do a circle. Yeah, that's fine. I'll leave it as that. So hopefully this should bounce to the platform, right? Right? Why would it bounce?
It won't bounce. It's also a square object.
Wait, because the platform ain't got no physics, right? There's no collider, and there's nothing on the platform to make it a collider. So if I click on the platforms, they are on the midground. They don't have any colliders on them. See, just says Tilemap renderer. no colliders. Okay, dokes. What I can do is add something called a Tilemap Collider 2D. Click on that, and it will make every single tile have a collider, which is not great because like every single one having a collider, it's a bit silly. I don't need like loads of tiny colliders, but it'll work. Let me just show you, and let's test it. Boop. Yay. Okay, cool. So it does work. Now the thing is, I don't want like a billion little tiny tile colliders. I want them to be like, say this platform here, that should just be one giant box because it's not a weird shape. It's just a long box shape. It doesn't need to be loads of tiny little colliders. So what I can do is a magic thing called Composite Collider. So once I have the Tilemap Collider on, I can turn on Composite Collider, and it will automatically add a rigid body 2D because it needs a rigid body 2D. And I can say on the Tilemap Collider, use by composite. Yes. And you see the way it composites all of them into individual ones, right? And the great thing about this is it runs in real time. So if I add more colliders to the Tilemap, well, let me just not lie. Let me just test whether this actually works. Window, 2D, tile palette. So this one, if I add another one here, there you go. See the way it adds colliders automatically in real time? All right, so it's doing it in real time. Coolio. Now that's all I need to do. No, it's not. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. So I don't know why, but when Unity puts on the rigid body 2D, it just gives it a default rigid body 2D, which is not what I want. Because by default, rigid bodies calculate physics, which you should have seen in game tools, right? So it calculates movement and collisions. You can have a rigid body that doesn't move, but still calculates like physics and collisions. And to do that, you just need to change from the body type from dynamic to static. It's not moving at all. So I hit it on static, job done. It should work like I actually want it to. So let's see that. Boop, boop. Oh, done. That's done. It's because it's a polygon collider, so it actually has some flat bits because it's following the exact shape. If I did a circle collider, it'll probably roll better. Let's try circle collider. Remove component, circle collider 2D. Not a sphere collider because it's a circle. And radius is less, like so. That should roll a bit more. Let's see. I believe I can fly. Ooh. Yeah. There we go. So, it's going to be stuck. Dang. All right, cool. So, for next week, or for the week after next, I have a little assignment for you. All right, so you need to be able to learn all of this. I'm just going to turn off the recording.